A Texas hostage taker ends his day more scatterbrained than it began. Democrats try to make monarchy sound more American by making it democratic monarchy, and old Joe's approval is almost dropped to a number he can count to with his fingers and toes. This is The Laughing Libertarian, and I'm your host, Alan McFarland. During the week of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, we get to watch Democrats try to push through legislation that actually differentiates the citizens of this country by the color of their skin.
I have a dream.
But as old Joe said, poor kids are just as smart as white kids, and it's time to show them just how smart all of us are by confirming that even his 33% approval rating is considerably too high.
Man, boo. Tomato.
Malik Fossil Akram, a 44-year-old British man, found himself at room temperature after holding 4 people hostage in a Texas synagogue. This drew so much media coverage, Joe Biden felt compelled to call it an act of terrorism, only after his daily episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was interrupted. Meanwhile, on MSNBC, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel was ranting about whatever the network wanted to hear. When the hostage news broke, she immediately gave her 2 cents, which is ironically Detroit's budget at this point. And what did she have to say? She said she believed that due to a rash of anti-Semitism, we were probably seeing the work of a white supremacist.
All I had to do was cut a hole in a bag. I could have cut it better than this.
What about you, Robert?
Can you see? Not too good.
And even after she was proven wrong, she said that this was just fallout of white supremacy, because a British Muslim threatening Jewish people has to be white supremacy. But she had the soapbox and ignorance was flowing. So what was she to do? She used that soapbox to talk about Texas and how guns and ammo were too accessible. She must be confused though, because if you look at the 2021 firearm death rates by state, you'll find that Michigan actually edges Texas out 12.2 to 12.1. Her rhetoric aside, everything ended well, with all 4 hostages making it out unscathed and Akram being dispatched from this earth. Did you know that a fire round is about 500 degrees Fahrenheit? And that proves that day, cooler heads prevailed.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Anyone seen this voting rights bill? Don't study too hard, it won't pass. It's just another bill that combines 2 bills with kickbacks in an attempt to sneak things through. And some of these things are absurd, like giving the federal government reign over states that have a history of discrimination. And that's gonna force the states to ask permission to change voting rules or to ask when they want to redistrict. Now, what constitutes a history of discrimination and how far back does it actually go? And we don't really know, because according to the current regime, discrimination is rampant. So if you convince everyone that everything is discrimination and you get to roll over all places where there is discrimination, then you've got a chance to backdoor in a monarchy.
Changing the Senate rules. Whichever way they need to be changed.
Not making a cake for a gay wedding because it's against your personal beliefs? Discrimination. Segregate college students to create black-only safe spaces? Discrimination? No, that's virtuous. Saying white people have the rest of the campus is the new no whites allowed. It's as if Democrats haven't learned from the backlash from the similar signs their ancestors made in the South. Historically speaking, that is.
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person?
Hysterically speaking, the bill would also force polling stations to accept a myriad of non-photo IDs because, come on, photo ID is racist and a way to suppress minority voting. Democrat politicians say that they want to break the chains of racism, but they refuse to let you know that you'll just have to kiss the ring. They want you to think they are helping so that when you fail, you won't think about blaming them. What an ingenious way to carry on the horrendous acts of their predecessors. They just have to make it your idea. And this all begins with them calling you too dumb to find a DMV and too broke to afford your ID. Again, kiss that ring. This narrative falls apart when you realize most people live in cities. Most DMVs are in those cities. Most mass transit is in those cities. These cities where voter IDs are free. Wouldn't that mean the current system actually discriminates against poor rural citizens who have to travel a great distance to a DMV? Nah, those people don't vote Democrat.
Oh, that is nasty.
So there you have it. Photo IDs must be racist, or so we're told, because minorities can't get them. However, this week in DC, the very city where the bill is being pushed, they have mandated showing a vaccination card and photo ID to go to the gym, theater, or even a coffee shop, which tells us that Democrat politicians in DC think voting for the city's best Frappuccino needs to be more secure than electing the leader of the free world. Or they may like their coffee black, just not their fellow patrons.
Enjoying my coffee.
If you like what you saw here, catch all the shows on Rumble and YouTube, subscribe at both places, share us on your social media, and smash that like button. AOC, the joke makes itself.